Welcome to CATtheMinion YouTube channel. My name is Teresa, but you can call me Cat. This is a fire elemental energy reading, and it's sort of whenever you hit it, but just to distinguish it from other readings, it's originally trying to pull energy for August 21st through September 20th. So if you want to watch for your astrological sign, we've got Sagittarius here, Jupiter energy. We've got Aries here, Mars energy, and we've got Leo here, and that's Sun energy. I feel like I can smell how hot my camera is right now. So these piles, you may be like, oh man, you pulled the cards off camera. Well, no, I'm just recording this after I've done the reading, so I saved the piles of cards just so there'd be something to see for you to pick at the beginning. So I did 3 different spreads for the fire elementals for this month. And this pile you're going to want, if you're dealing with some kind of blockage, the reading is Triptych Door. It deals with duality and polarities and opposites. This reading, if you want a deep dive into emotional issues, take this pile. It's going to be a Lenormand 9 grid, and usually I get 1 card for like an overview or topic, but I used my charm bucket instead. So we have the Gilded Reverie Lenormand and my charm bucket. This pile with the blockage is going to be my music deck that I made for myself and the Radley Valentine Angel deck. And if you want something, if you're feeling pressured by universal timing, like something feels like hurry up and wait, or like your FOMO, fear of missing out, check out this reading. This is the same. I'm using the spread that I use for my Help Me I Can't Afford a reading. It's a 6-card spread for this one. So blockage, duality, polarity, something feels stuck, a deep dive for an emotional issue, or feeling kind of pushed or pulled or in some way by universal timing. So those are the piles that are available for fire elementals for the next month as I'm putting this out. I think that's it. So you'll see me pull these cards in the sections, and those are going to be time stamped. And if you want to get a reading, a personal reading with any of these spreads or the other ones that I offer, that's going to be in the description box down underneath here. I think I forgot to say that it was the description box in one of the segments, so you can do that. I think that's it. I show my sign at the end of each segment, and then at the very end of the reading I'll put the slides with the readings that I offer anyway. All right, so blockage, deep dive, or timing, pick your poison, and we'll see you at the in the timestamps. You might have to scroll down the description a little bit for the timestamps, because I usually have the same blurb at the beginning, and then you have to scroll down a little bit to see the description for each video. So like with the description for this video will be the timestamps. So just click the view more and then get down in there and you'll see the rest of it. Okay. Alright. If you have picked the topic of polarity, dealing with some kind of polarity, being stuck between a rock and a hard place, some kind of blockage, this is the pile that you picked for that. The reading that we have for this is a Triptych Door. And I've decided to shuffle out the cards for the free readings on camera, because I've seen some commentators talking about fake reading and how, oh, you can tell they're fake if they don't shuffle out on camera. I usually just do it because of a time thing, and if people buy readings, I shuffle them out on camera, but it doesn't really take that long, unless it's like a 60 card reading. So I figured just to, for people to see for themselves that extra little bit, well, do that on camera again. So we have from August 21st through September 20th, we're dealing with fire signs. So we've got fire planets. We have Jupiter, Mars, and the Sun. And if you're watching this for your astrology signs, we have Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius. I'm trying to be more from an energy center. Now, if you're looking at fire energy, you're typically looking at wands as an overall concept and the solar chakra. But the sacral chakra, even though it's watery, can also be fire. It's kind of like the judgment card in that way. Okay, so we're gonna get, I also feel like the crown chakra is fire too. I'm using my music deck that I made. I had it out of circulation for a while because I was changing some of the songs and then I didn't like the changes and I was going to redraw them so I could... These are scabbed images. I was going to make new images so I could sell them. I haven't had time yet. And then I wanted my music deck, so I put it back in circulation. Like a wind barrier here. So I'm using my music deck that I made a couple years ago, and I'm using the Radley Valentine Angel deck here. And I've trimmed mine. It had a silver border. I did already clear and shuffle these. Apparently I'm just gonna a little bit more here. So the triptych door reading, I'm gonna get a bigger card for the center, which is this deck. The table's shaking, it's because I got my elbows down. And 2 smaller cards for the side. I don't need the whole goddamn deck. Oh, that's both of them. Okay. This is cardstock. I think it's 80 pound or... Yeah, I think this is 80 pound because the regular printer paper is 20 pound. Okay. I guess I could move this way because the triptych door doesn't take up that much room. Some lovely products from my friends over at Mend Hemp. I like to subtly pimp their stuff in the side of the thing. Okay, so I'll try to keep these little signs over here so they can be seen and not have the fan blow directly on them. Okay. Out. Alright. Is that decent? I'm going to be super excited when I can get a camera that's slightly more user-friendly. But we use what we have. I'm not going to complain under all the circumstances. Okay, so we're comparing 2 opposites. We have fire energy. We're dealing with basically something that stresses you out and makes you feel sick to your stomach. Something that your gut and your brain are at opposites. Your instincts and your reasoning are making you foam at the mouth and not able to go anywhere, right? We're dealing with a blockage. This is, you know, the problem. It's like, it makes me think of Topol in Fiddler on the Roof. He's like, it's like, this is the thing, but on the other hand, so it's a duality, a polarity, and this is sort of the union between the two, or possibly the pathway that will open up. Okay, so if you wanted the polarity, between a rock and a hard place, the blockage reading from the choose a pile, this is what you're getting. So I don't mean that in a snotty way. I mean, you know, the one thing and the other thing. If you're blocked in a relationship, maybe this is one person and this is the other one. I'm trying to sort of not be focused on relationship readings. We're dealing with fire energy. It could also have to do with the sacral energy. It could deal with wounding related to, because we're talking fire, it could be wounding related to, I just heard getting hit on the head lessons, because I flashed back to thinking about the crown chakra. You know, like, if you have, like, something that gives you a headache, something that gives you migraine, something that makes you feel like you're being, like, hammered into the earth from the top of your head. You know, like, it's like getting hit on the head lessons. If you have it, oh, maybe I'll link in the, if I remember, I'm going to write it down on my notes, a link in the description to Monty Python's argument clinic thing, because getting hit on the head lessons is part of that sketch. And basically, you know, if you get, the concept is like, you get hit on the head and you're supposed to say wah, and the guy, he hits the guy in the head and he's like, ooh, and he's like, no, put your hand there, no, better, wah. And he's like, what are you doing? He's like, this is getting hit on the head lessons. And he's like, what a stupid concept. It's, you know, it doesn't matter what comes out of your mouth when you keep hitting the same brick wall. It's like, why is it happening in the first place? It's not really solving the problem that somebody's smacking you in the head with a hammer. Okay, so we're going to look at this inverted card over here first. This is one side of this blockage. Right, it's like, we've got a sink here, and the left sink and the right sink are both clogged. You know, it's like, where do you put the Drano? Where do you snake it? So we have Justice inverted. This is 11, and I have the Saints Hallelujah by the Canadian Brass. I'm trying to get that in focus. Which is funny, because that's a duality in and of itself. It's a song mashup. Oh, when the saints go marching in, plus that, like, do-do-do-do-do-do, hallelujah, mixed together. And, you know, they're cool. They got shades on. It's dark and we're wearing sunglasses. Also think of, like, wind instruments, but it's on this red background. I mean, it's not a pristine red. It's kind of washed out here. You could be saying, oh, it's orange. It's the sacral chakra. But it's kind of red. Could be there, like, something's uprooted. Justice is Libra energy. Venus just went into Libra. But I'm getting, I mean, it's, an injustice is like something's not fair. You know, it's like I ate two things that didn't mix well, and now I'm, you know, it's, it reminds me of this ad. I think it was in a National Geographic magazine, because I remember seeing it on that certain size of magazine paper. It was like some kind of microwave cleaning advertisement, and it had this picture of red snapper s'mores on it, right? S'mores with a gross fish stuffed in it because of the flavors left over in the microwave. So that's kind of a running joke in my family. If something is gross, it's like, what is that, red snapper s'mores? So it's like I ate two things that didn't agree with each other, right? I had, oh god, it was like, reminds me when I was kind of bulimic in middle school, and I had like Doritos and pizza and like soda and then something else. Gross. That might be something too, because all those things are orange. All those things are like red and orange. So it could be, like it literally could be some kind of eating disorder, but that it could also feed into the sacral energy of not feeling protected or nourished enough, insecure of creativity. But it also feeds into the solar chakra, which if your solar chakra is having some kind of blockage, you get into this, I feel sick to my stomach, I've got like anxiety, diarrhea, that kind of stuff. But also, it goes back to this thing of injustice, like it's not fair. And also this feeling of like uprooting. You know, like I wasn't ready for that. Like now I'm gonna like, I need to gnaw on something. You know, like give me a silicone necklace to chew on. Like, cause I went through all the pens already. It's just like putting food in your mouth so that you don't grind your teeth. That's the kind of energy I'm getting here. Notice how, you know, if I had this here, it'd be like all these little heads are teeth. Let me see what's over here. The new Mother Nature. Oh, I got this stuck in my head too. So this is the Queen of Pentacles. No sugar / new Mother Nature. And even the sugar idea goes back to like food stuff again. And this looks like a lollipop. But here we have somebody who is dissolving into their rainbow body. And they're going to leave behind a little pile of ash and bones. Right there is, they're like literally somebody who's ascending. So the Queen of Pentacles, and the song is the Guess Who. The new Mother Nature taking over. No sugar tonight in my coffee. No sugar tonight in my tea. No sugar to run beside me. No sugar to run with me. Is there a moth bouncing around in here? I hear... It's either raining outside or that moth I couldn't get is still flapping around in here. So that song. The Queen of Pentacles is a 13. She could also be a 1. So I kind of feel like it's 11 and then 13, and this I expect to be a Knight or the Hanged Man. I want it to be a 12, or like the World, because that's 21. But this has to do with manifestation. You know, like it's like I want to manifest in the material world. I've got a hold of, you know, my ends are meeting. But even this, notice how there's a twisting of the inside. You know, like I might be successful in the material world, but I have to, like, I'm chugging Pepto-Bismol all day because there's something not right here. So it's like the blockage itself is like it's like a vortex that's like too much gravity, like a black hole sucking all the material in. It's kind of making me think of like kidney or liver problems, or like specifically like kidney stones. It really does. It's making me think of kidney stones, especially because you have this things that you're supposed to be digesting, and then there's a buildup, and then you have earth, like earthen material, like a stone that's inside the system that's ruled by essentially the fire, right? Like a lava pit, like a drainage ditch. That's kind of weird. I really like that. That is some kind of I don't know if it's a sand painting or a real painting, but it was some kind of, just trying to get it to focus, some kind of monk artwork, Buddhist artwork. Okay, let me try to get that back into focus. I don't have autofocus, so it's kind of, hopefully nobody gets seasick from it. So let's look at the middle. The 5 of Earth. Okay, so we have a lot of earth energy in here, and air, but no actual fire. Fears surrounding money, the wisdom to accept help from others, uncertain self-employment. This sun temple here feels like it's the same shape as this body, because I see this, the torso here, and then the crown coming up off of it looks like the top of the temple. It feels really similar. Now the 13 breaks down to 4. And then I have a 5 here, and the 11 breaks down to 2. It's kind of like we're missing the number 3. It's like the block itself is that there's... It's like I tried to skip ahead too far. Like there was an ingredient missing that would have, like if we're going back to this indigestion stuff, if there's an element that was missing that would have, you know, if I put more basil in it, it wouldn't have been so acidic, and then I wouldn't have had, you know, intestinal problems, that kind of stuff. But also going back to that headache stuff too. I mean, we have a crown busting through here. These aren't crowned, but they have sunglasses on. Their regular eyes are blocked. This is looking like something that it's like I'm having a hard time seeing something manifest for me. It's happening for other people. Other people's ends are meeting like a mofo, but it's like never for me. Like, it's not fair if I'm putting all this work in and all I'm getting is a headache and acid reflux. Because acid reflux is a very fire energy way of holding stress in the body, right? Heartburn. The wisdom to accept help from others. Okay, I want to look at the bottoms of the deck. This is supposed to be a shorter reading, and it's being obscure. So at the bottom of the deck, I have 17 the star. Swipe that off of there. Inverted. So it's not fair, and there's something that's maligned. It's out of alignment. There's navigation that's missing, and it feels hopeless, right? Hopeless is I feel left out. So we have Isaac by Madonna here. Interesting that the album it's from is called Confessions on a Dance Floor. It's like there's something I'm not quite admitting to myself. 17 breaks down to 8. 2, 4, 5, and then 8. 5 and then 8 makes me think of the Fibonacci sequence, but notice the difference between them is the 3 that was missing. Oh, wait, no. 2, 4. That's weird. Okay. Still doesn't really want to be in focus. This song, at the end of it, the guy that's doing the duet with Madonna, he's saying that the stuff that he's been singing, not entirely sure the language, so I don't want to talk out of turn. It's, you know, some language coming from the East or the Middle East. And because there's a bunch of different ones and I don't know it by ear, I'm not going to say what it is because I don't want to be wrong on that. But he's saying at the end, he's like, the song, it's like the angel and it's coming down out of the light. And there's a guy and he's talking to the angel. And this is really relevant to this angel deck card. But if you think about talking to an angel, it's something that's like a universal download that's coming out of the crown. This 5 is a lower vibration of the Hierophant, and the Hierophant for me is more about getting cosmic downloads. But if part of the fire blockage is not being able to have your crown chakra working, then you're not going to be able to dial up this radio station like this over here. And it's like, this isn't fair. I'm not getting all of these bandwidths. I'm only getting red. You know, I've got these infrared goggles on, so, you know, I've got my FLIR unit and the night vision goggles, and it's not working. Let me look at the bottom of this deck. Okay. So we have 13, release Archangel Azrael. The end of a phase or situation, spiritual transformation, time to move on. Okay, so that goes with this. So the only thing that isn't really resolved here is this justice. It's not fair. I kind of feel like this whole, and there's this, Archangel Azrael. I think I actually need to read what Archangel Azrael is from my dictionary of angels. I feel pushed for time, but the reason that I am doing these readings less often than I have been doing them is to be able to get more in depth. So I'm looking up Azrael in my dictionary of angels that I've had for 21 years apparently, since I was in high school. And Azrael. So if I get what Azrael's doing, it might help figure out what's going on there. Okay, it says his name means whom God helps. Angel of Death, which is why he's on the Death card, because it's called Release in this deck. Stationed in the 3rd heaven. 3 is that number that's kind of missing from the sequence. Another form of Raphael. So he's in terms of healing, but there can be a healing in which a death cycle is that healing, right? I've killed off the chicken pox. I'm no longer sick. That kind of stuff. Oh. His body is provided with as many eyes and tongues as there are men in the world, which is weird because I was talking about languages. This kind of feels like it's giving me a little bit of the energy of like I don't speak that language, and it's not like I haven't used the, what's that stupid program called? Duolingo. It's like I haven't, like I only know this language, but it's also like I know English, but I don't know how to code. I don't understand what the kids are saying on TikTok. I don't understand the jargon in this industry. And that might be what's unfair. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. It's not necessarily I don't speak your language, it's I don't understand you. Feeling misunderstood, and it's not fair. Forever writing in a large book and forever erasing what he writes. The birth and death, kind of like the fates. Separating the body and the soul. It's also kind of associated with evil in some ways. It feels a little bit like holding a grudge, and it feels a little bit like the ego holding on to it feels like an ego of lack that's holding on and sort of assaulting the system with like migraines and like core body gut issues when faced with actually manifesting what's desired. It being able to level up, being able to connect bodily and spiritually. So we have this sort of this ideal, right? Balance, justice. You know, when the saints go marching in, and hallelujah, right? It's like I have these high ideals, but it's this physical realm, creativity and flow and ideal in connection with a spirituality doesn't seem achievable. It seems like there's failure every time. But this is just presenting the problem. It doesn't really give a solution except to be like, well, just get over it. But I think the issue is that the ideals, the idea of what is just and fair in terms of effort and manifestation, it seems separate from the world. It's like I need to listen to my instincts more and understand that they're coming, that this feeling closed down from the crown of your head and not allowing kind of cosmic intuition and not opening up it's like open the sunroof and you won't be like choking, you won't be like hotboxing yourself from your own butt, kind of. I don't know how else to describe that. It's a very subtle message. This 5 here indicates possibly a shift or a pivot. This is a mystery and I feel like I want to figure it out. But I don't think I need any more cards for this. Okay, look at the astrology. Let's look at the astrology. The Queen of Pentacles, Sagittarius and Capricorn. Okay, so we have retrograding in Aquarius. And I was going to mention that the full moon in Aquarius on the 22nd, which is like the day after this starts, is the second one, right? It's like the alpha and the omega. So it might, in this case, be opening up those energies for this blockage. Might finally be having a way through where the pathway between the physical body, right, the instinct, the base primal animal, and this higher cognition of extra dimensional stuff outside of the material can finally start coming back together. But it does involve this kind of death cycle, but here it's called release. It's like the idea of holding stuff in, and some of that has to do with creativity, right? If you feel like your expression is going to be ignored, 5 of Earth, or assaulted in some way, which isn't really here except that it's not fair. You know, someone else is getting what I thought was going to happen for me. You know, every time I go to get my train, it's like you're You know, it's like, oh, your princess is in another castle. It's being in the wrong place at the wrong time. This release is sort of, you know, allowing your creativity to flow. That has to do with the sacral chakra. And the sacral chakra, once the circuit's sort of connected back together, then the solar chakra can power up. And it's like the right bacteria has the environment and nurturing it needs to grow to fix your gut in the physical, while your energetic gut instinct kicks back in, and then the downloads can start coming, and these cards will sort of start turning the other way. But the release is sort of like opening the jar on your own self. Like if you had butterflies in your stomach, but they're all like lightning bugs, like they're all like ideas and things you want to do. You just have to like release by unscrewing the cap, and they'll fly out again. What am I doing with these other things? 5 of Pentacles, traditionally Mercury in Taurus. Justice is Libra. This is Scorpio. And the star is Aquarius. So there is a lot of Aquarian energy involved there. And I think this is something that the moon, full moon in Aquarius, illumination of new ways to communicate and perceive things, right? You've perceived yourself possibly like an overextended victim of society. Nobody's listening to me, nobody's seeing me. Why am I working so hard and nothing's happening? And it could be in terms of cash, right? Why am I poor? I'm working hard. Or it could be I'm putting all this energy into my life purpose and nothing's manifesting. But even this idea of like no sugar, like I'm not getting any sweetness out of it, but this new Mother Nature taking over is like it's like I am turning a new, like literally a leaf. Hung up though. It's like hung up. I still feel like there's no conclusion here. And I don't like that. 18, the moon. 11 and 17 is 28. Two and 8 is 10. 15. And 4 is 19. And 4 is 23, which is 5. I'm still not quite getting this. I don't like that at all. I'm just going to take a random card from the middle of the deck and see if that helps. It's frustrating because it makes me feel like I sound like I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm going to go until it makes sense. How about that? 8 of Cups life story. This is like the duality here. Your life story began with somebody else. Find your glory out there with somebody else. I'll be somebody else. Ooh. It's like I'm redoing my identity in some way. The new Mother Nature. But this 8 of Cups is Saturn in Pisces. It's like a bad dream almost. This goes with the star. Let me look at take a random card from the middle of this too. Oh, this one. saw one, and now I don't. Okay. Let's try this one. The Ace of, there's the fire that I was looking for. An exciting new opportunity, career advancement, change your life now. Eight of Cups is about letting go of that which doesn't serve you anymore. This is making me feel like I'm going to keep all of these things that are broken because I'm going to use them for parts, or I'm going to fix them at some point. And it basically, you end up just kind of in a hoarding situation. And it's like, you know, if I really want one of these again, I'll just go and get one. I need to clear it out. Some of this, the Queen of Pentacles energy, can be like house cleaning. Housekeeping? It's like getting rid of stuff that you don't need anymore. Like, get rid of half of your clothes that you don't like or don't wear. Clean out your fridge. Clean out your pantry. Get rid of stuff that you don't like or makes you sick. Don't want to be eating. It's not this like Marie Kondo, whatever the stuff crap either. It's like, are you using it in your life? Is it improving your life in some way? Does it have any kind of sentimental value that gives you warm fuzzies when you have it? If it doesn't, then release it. And it will open up the space. Okay, that's what's going on with this reading. It's a cleaning out. It's a restoration. It's giving yourself space to open up, essentially to yourself. I also just heard I don't belong here. So this cleaning up of what you have is sort of a physical way of meditating on who you are as a person and what does belong in your life. You know, do I use these supplies anymore to make what I'm making? Do I use these shoes anymore? Do I wear these clothes anymore? Do I wear these, like all of these things that make up our day-to-day life? It's like the detritus of your life. You know, what, like if you were actually to die and people went through your stuff, they'd be like, huh, this is kind of, I guess, who they were as a person. It's, you know, archaeological evidence. And it's not like you're going to be like stuffing evidence under the carpet. It's like, this is not stuff that is representative of who I am as a person, and then just release it. All right, you don't have to hold on to it just because you own it. You know, do I want these movies? I don't like these movies. I'm not going to keep these DVDs. You know, I had this shirt because I needed a shirt. I hate this. Why is it in my closet? I'm going to turn it into rags. I'm going to donate it. I'm going to throw it out. I'm going to use it for my puppy to piss on. You know, like, do I read these books? Do I even like these books? Get rid of them. You know, and this physical, the physical version of alignment of assessing what is and what is not you carries over to that spiritual level and should help unlock the crown chakra. This gut tension of sort of low energy, feeling unsafe. It's kind of like once you establish what is and isn't you, the solar chakra can start clearing and there'll be more confidence, and the sacral chakra will open up as your creativity starts this kind of feedback loop with the core reactor, the solar chakra, where all the energy comes from. You know, it's like, oh, there's a surge in the system. We've had an upgrade in confidence. Oh, now that the circuits are repaired, we're going to start sending ideas back up from the creative center in the sacral chakra, and we're not going to, you know, have a brownout when those ideas come up because there isn't enough energy to support them. Okay. So now I feel like the reading is complete. This makes sense to me now. And hopefully it will make sense to someone else. Because this Ace of Fire is that confidence starting to well up. It says change your life now. Right? Changing your life. Well, how do you do that? Find out what is and isn't, what is and isn't still belonging in there. And it could be people, but it looks like it's mostly things. And it could also be concepts and ideas. You know, it is like this image, this version of myself. Am I in this box? Do I want to be in this box with this label? This doesn't suit me. I'm going to put these concepts in the trash with, you know, my shoes that are now mostly duct tape. I'm going to put these versions of me that other people told me what I am in the trash with this couch that the dog ate. And thereby it sets up this multi-layered thing of the physical and the energy and so on. Okay? So that's it for this pile. And if you still think you need if you still want to watch the other two piles for the deeper issue, which is more emotionally tied, or the astrological pressure, like what's coming up in the schedule for universal time, and you can check those out too, because they will be after this. So I'm just going to do this little spiel quick in between the segments too. So if you do want to get a personal reading, come on. Okay, that's pretty good. You can email me, thecatcamebackatcamp@gmail.com. Payment is PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo. Everything is through my Linktree, linktr.ee/CATtheMinion. I have some social media. You can come and hang out with me. I have merch and prints and actual art items here on Etsy. There's a coupon, 3 or more items, 17% off. Some of them, like my chapbook packs, are basically the cost of a greeting card, and that's like a synchronicity stimulus. It might help you, give you some other information, other perspective, a little image or number or words that might keep coming up and help you get that crown chakra connected back to the feedback loop with the universe there. It's, you know, it's the same as if you like walk around and look at a clock and every time it says the same number, you open up the little thing and there's some pictures and some words in there and you're like, I've seen this word 8 times today, or this poem just got me in my feels. That's what they're for. So those are only a few bucks, and there's some artwork and plushies and stuff over there too with a discount code. Got coloring books. I got more poetry there in that poetry book there. So all that's available. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment. Check out my playlists tab, my discussion tab, and stay groovy, and we'll see you later. Bye. Alright, if you pick the second option, which is a deeper issue, more leaning toward emotional, you're going to have a 9-grid Lenormand reading. So the only Lenormand deck that I own right now is... Oh, I should make my own. I've already got 3 other decks going, though, that I haven't finished. The Gilded Reverie Lenormand. So at some point I'd like to have another one. At least one other one. And usually when I do a Lenormand 9-grid, I'll have a card that will sort of be a topic overview for the reading. Instead of getting cards, though, I pulled out my charm bucket here, and I did shake these up and clear them. I cleared and shuffled these. Give them another little souffle here. So we're looking at a deeper issue, trying to get into some emotional work, normally what we'd consider shadow work, see what's going on. We're looking at fire energy here, so if you're watching for signs, we have Leo and Aries and Sagittarius, Sun, Mars, and Jupiter here. And we're looking at August 21st through September 20th. In general, it's not a solid timeline, it's just kind of differentiating these between the other readings. Although, I mean, I'm probably going to do the readings differently every month anyway, but it'll give you a timestamp for when this originally came out. And obviously, if you're finding this in like a week or 3 months or 4 years from now, it's probably a synchronicity and there might be something in there. Alright, so it's timeless but still time stamped just for funsies. Okay, so these. I haven't been shuffling out cards on camera, but I noticed there's a lot of videos about different various people of possibly also questionable standing, talking about how you can spot a fake reader on YouTube, and one of the telltale signs is they won't shuffle the cards out on camera. I haven't been doing that on my free videos just because it takes sometimes like 5 or 6 hours for my video segments to combine, and the longer the videos, the longer it takes. But since I've been pre-recording stuff and putting it up like so anywhere between 3 weeks to 1 day before they're actually supposed to come out, it doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter, and if it makes you guys feel better, I will shuffle them on camera even for the free videos. Always do it for readings that are purchased anyway. Don't confront me, none, I'll just shuffle it on camera. It's just kind of boring and I tend to ramble. Okay. Flip him over. Guy 2, 8, 9. No. Wait a minute. Is it 9? Hang on. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, I didn't know I was done. So it's going to keep pulling out the whole deck apparently. Put these back in the. Put them back in the box. Out and see how they are vibing. Do I have this? These over here. Just spread this out a little bit. I forgot when I have a grid that the cards don't form a square because they're usually taller than they are wide. I used to think these were non-directional, and then I realized they've got a little thing on the corner that says the date they were printed. Otherwise, I don't like it when I can tell which direction they're going from the back. Come on, fan, give me a friggin' break here. Okay, do I like how these are? I don't like. Don't like it. Let me look through the camera, maybe that'll help. I think that's okay. It's off right now. Look through the camera. Yeah, that's right now. Okay. I still don't know what's there, but I get a vibe, and I gotta move them sometimes. Okay, so we're getting a subject. Just gonna... Oh, okay. Got a couple more. A couple more from this side. It's not quite done yet. I gotta get like one or two more. Hang on, let me get in here. I have my eyes closed, not like you can see me with my eyes closed anyway. Got a little one. Okay, I think that's it. Okay. So we're trying to look at a deeper emotional issue, potentially in shadow work relating to fire energy. Now, I did say in the segment for blockage that fire energy, in terms of what's going on in your body or your energy systems, it's like solar chakra, probably sacral chakra, even though it's like a fluid. And then I also got sort of cut off mid-sentence because I also got the crown chakra, you know, the purple flame. So that's fire energy also, apparently. So keep that in mind, but I don't want to be all up about the digestive system like I was in the blockage reading. But if you're having digestive, kidney, diarrhea, crampy kind of stuff, possibly check out the blockage reading. So this is the first one that fell out. It's inverted because it fell face down. This is the UFO. This is the first chariot charm that I made. I just want to make sure that that is in focus. Yeah, possibly. I just want to see where it is. Okay, so back here on this card. There we go, the UFO. I'm going to put it upside down, though. So a lack of movement or, like a force field, like stop. Like a, not, well, I was going to say like a railroad crossing, but I don't see that charm here unless that's this round one. Okay, so we also have the wheel that came out inverted. So not only the chariot inverted, but this wheel inverted also. The wheels on the bus do not go round and round. Wheel is Jupiter energy, that's fire, and this is Cancerian energy. Stuck in a rut. Okay. Stuck in a rut. I have the scissors inverted also. Something's not cutting the mustard here. Upright charms. I have this honkin' goose here. Big honkin' goose. So this goose is a little bit angry. It's also giving me... Oh, I just heard like rage chicken or something like that in my head. Hate chicken, rage chicken, Karen chicken. But I also was thinking... It made me think of Goose in Top Gun. Talk to me, Goose. Ooh! Ooh! I know what it is. It's Goose in Top Gun. And was he wearing sunglasses during that scene? He might have been. In one of the scenes in Top Gun, they're hanging out with Goose's family, right? Meg Ryan and the little kid. And he's playing Great Balls of Fire on the piano. That's fire energy. You shake my nerves and you rattle my brain. Too much love drives a man insane. You break my will. What a thrill. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Okay, so that's what that goose is representing. I can't believe I knew that much of the lyrics. So I haven't listened to that song in a little bit. Okay. So we have a horse here. It's making me think stallion. Because also in that scene, Meg Ryan's character was like, "Hey, Goose, you break stud!" take me to bed or lose me forever. And that stallion, I wasn't going to say it out loud, but this horse coming in, this rampant horse coming in as a stallion really wanted me to say that. So, some spicy, and the volcano as well. And I think we all know what euphemism eruption could mean. But there's also stuck in a rut here, kind of contradicting this sexy, spicy kind of energy. And I have a frog here. This is making me think of the Princess and the Frog. She's like, ew, I'm not gonna kiss you. You're gross. Like, get away. Like, hop off. Don't hit me up. I also just heard, like, cut loose. Like, somebody's cutting the brake lines. Like, maybe not stopped, but maybe, like, unstoppable. Like, loss of direction. Like, unhinged. I also have these goggles. Okay, I was gonna say sunglasses, but goggles. Like, welding goggles. Like, I'm like an arc welder. Like, I'm working with fire. But there's no mittens here. When I have the fox here, now usually you think of fox, you think orange, you think it's a fiery kind of animal. But to me, this comes in and can come in as misunderstood. Or shy. In the wild unknown animal spirits, the fox is representative of like monogamy and family and stuff. And the frog is just sort of like, you know, hardworking, chugging along, but could be easily burnt out and need to retreat back into the water. Or this idea of amphibious, of sort of walking between two worlds. You know, like maybe I'm shy, but maybe at night I'm unhinged. Let me flip these over and see what we've got. So this is the alternate man. This is more like raw Aries, Martian, Emperor energy. The alternate woman in this deck is also bare-chested. He's got his little Martian symbol there. He looks like he's just come out of bed. He might be horny. Which is, it's just weird that this is an emotional reading, but maybe we'll get into that. Ace of Cups. Possibly love. Maybe this is the other way. Maybe he has a reputation as a fuckboy, but he's really, in terms of intimacy, more shy and really wanting some kind of fulfillment. He doesn't really look happy here. So it could be, I mean, it's sort of two sides of the same coin. And we'll see where we get in the rest of the reading. God, there's another moth. That wasn't the big one that was bothering me earlier. Come on, man. Give me a fucking break here. Let me get a shoe. You fucking... Where the hell did that go? This big fat moth has been bothering me for a couple hours, and every time I get the fly swatter, I lose track of where the fat bastard went. Pissing me off. I got his little brother in the lamp like 10 minutes ago. Pissing me off. Okay, back to the reading though. This two sides of the same coin thing. It's like the same framework, but it depends on which side you push on. This fucking... Nope, I still can't see where he went. It's too flappy. It's either... Somebody doesn't want me to friggin' say what I'm gonna say. It's like two sides of the same seesaw. You can push on either end of it, you know? It's like picking different points on the roller coaster. But the point is the pattern of either being outwardly like virile, or outwardly kind of more shy, and secretly like horning it up. It's the same. It's two sides of the same framework, right? Looking through the window from either the inside or the outside. It's the same overall vibe. Okay, let's see what we got here. So there's more emotional need here. This is a 28 breaking down to 10. We have 24 breaking down to 6. Jack of Cups. Could be a page or a knight, depending on what else is going on in the reading. I kind of feel like it might lead more towards knight, but we'll see. So this is swans in the tunnel of love. Not the goose, but swans. Swans. The ugly duckling. Okay. So this is a choice inverted. 22, right? Are you going over here or are you going over here? And notice I just said on two different sides of a window, and this door, it's two different sides, but the doors have a lot of windows in them. Queen of Pentacles inverted. Something that's not manifesting. 22 breaking down, I was going to say breaking down to 11. But it actually breaks down to 4. Okay. And we've got the clouds. For some reason I want to say it like clouds. Like it clouds. Clouds. So whatever's coming in over here is where the clouds are breaking, and whatever is more down this way is going to be what's been obscured. So we have King of Wands, but we already know that he's pretty spicy. I'm just saying he because the character Goose is masculine, and we have the alternate man here. And the king is a masculine. We have a queen over here, but it's not the OTP. She's in a different suit. Notice we have a 6 here and a 6 here. Queen is a 13 or a 1. So we have the book here. It's making me think of the Kama Sutra, because I have a Kama Sutra charm. 26 breaking down to 8 with a 10 of Pentacles. So there's something manifesting, but there's also this idea that there's some kind of knowledge being opened. And usually when the card is upright, the knowledge is opening to what's over here. So we have something that's been obscured opening up. Notice there's 3 birds up here. Like those 2 swans and the goose. I don't know how well geese can fly though. Or swans, but just imagine we have 3 birds and they're up there. They're also all waterfowl as well. Emotional stuff. But the idea of waterfowl, like water birds, something that can fly but is in the water, right? I'm like thinking about my emotions or lack thereof, right? My emotions are driving my thoughts, or I'm in my head about my emotions. It's that same kind of either side of the window. We have... Oh, see, now when I was shuffling, this tried to come out. It's the cross. This is like all the BS. And look, we got windows again. This is the burden. This is the, like, whatever sucks. 36 breaking down to 9 with a 6 of Wands. 6 of Wands is a victory card here. But the information, the book is being opened up on this. Right? The cross to bear. And there's a song. Is it Alanis Morissette? Somebody's singing about something my cross to bear. Like someone's trying to take my cross that I'm bearing. I can't remember what the lyrics are, though. Might not be Alanis. It might be Pink. I don't remember. I can't think about it right now. It's also making me think of dogma, because you think about, like, the Bible. I don't know if it's somebody who's, like Christian repressed, or what it might be. Because, again, this in the middle of stuff that's going on that's sexy, especially because I've got the charms here, is really making me think of that Kama Sutra charm, which I think I need to take out. I'm going to dig it out because I think it needs to come out. I don't need the history books, I need the frickin' Kama Sutra. Usually, a lot of the time when I don't get the cross very often when I'm reading Lenormand, but when I do get it, it's usually inverted. It's like that Dos Equis guy. I don't usually, but when I do... Sorry, this is the really boring part where I'm flipping through like 200 charms to find the one that I need. I don't want to like put them on camera. I'm just shuffling through these. I just don't want to have them on camera if they're not relevant to the reading. You're just gonna have to listen to me pick through them for a minute. Let me flip this one over while I'm waiting. So this is 34, breaking down to 7, notice masculine and feminine energy. King of Pentacles now, so I do have an OTP, but the Queen is inverted. She doesn't have a choice. King of Pentacles is like, all the ends are meeting, you know, he's got the goods here. He's abundant, right? The fish there. Oh, notice I picked that up. This was in my hand. What the hell, man? I know you didn't see me pulling that out, but I stopped flipping through the charms, and that one was in my hand for like a minute there. The fish are abundance, like energy, well-being, money, food, material abundance. Here's the Kama Sutra. I closed the box and the neighbor's dog started barking. So here's the airship. It's not quite a dirigible because it has regular sails. 10 of Swords with this 3, the ship. This is like long distance. Ooh, I just heard he's going the distance. He's going for speed. Is that band called Cracker? Wait, that can't be right. Whatever, that song. Still feel like that's not right. Yeah, I'm just gonna, he's going the distance, he's going for speed. I feel like there's something going on here because there's a 3 and the 34 looking at me. Like this king has traveled the world gaining this abundance. And then I have the tree inverted under the cross and the Queen here. It's starting to look like this goes here and this goes here, and this is some kind of meeting in the middle. Especially, oh, well, I'll get back to that in a second. The tree number 5 with the 7 of Cups inverted. 7 of Cups could be options, especially since there's a choice here, right? I'm no longer distracted. Usually I say options is like distractions. You know, like getting all wrapped up in a bunch of stuff and not really being able to clearly discern where it is you're supposed to be going. But here I am seeing options with this 7 of Cups inverted. I just heard albatross. Why is the cross though? I think I want to read the book because I think there's something else going on with the cross that I'm not quite getting. Normally, I don't feel the need to use the little book. But that cross is throwing me for a loop. That's what happens when you're a fucking atheist and you get these cards. Bringer of grief, sadness, burdens, and ordeals. Pain, suffering, and guilt. So guilt. The area of my expertise. Weeping, tears, lamentations, prayers, and supplications. It says, when happy cards come at my right, then you shouldn't experience too much fight. But the right of the card is the book. Suffering, universal and unavoidable. Carrying the burden of others who are not accountable for their actions, the cross we have to bear. Calling card of taking responsibility despite the cost. On a positive note, redemption may come dependent on surrounding cards. Okay. So I am getting, I'm feeling like guilt and accountability are really strong with this column here for me. Those are the words that are standing out. I just skim. So I'll skim the book while I have this book out. Oh, secrets. What I house is educational and private. Project or research. Hidden and unknown. Okay. This is like, this book is opening up to what this grief and sort of like comeuppance. It's like the queen doesn't have a choice. There's no option to not deal with whatever this sort of, whatever the Queen of Pentacles is ashamed of. It might be draining her resources because the Queen is inverted. You know, like I have to do community service. I have to pay some debt off. It could be karmic. It could be like a credit card. It could be, again, it could be like probation or some kind of court thing. But it also feels like, on top of that, there's this layer of the masculine energy, because we have the man and then we have a king and another king. The masculine energy, especially because I keep getting this Kama Sutra energy with this, all this fire and stuff, which is why I brought out my little Kama Sutra. Now, usually if this comes inverted, face down, to me, it's like I'm uncomfortable in this position. But this book is opening up. It's like I'm interested in, but the Ten of Pentacles is with this, material contentment. Learning about the position that the feminine energy is in. Okay? So there's an emotional issue here. Is the masculine responsible for this state that the feminine is in? Was there something that went on before that was sort of unhinged, that kind of went off the rails, and the feminine just kind of dropped out of the physical world to deal with it, and the masculine is like what's up here? But now I'm getting page energy with this, so I'm still not quite sure whether that's a page or a jack. But what's in between the Ace of Cups with this masculine and the Queen of Cups with no choice, I mean the Queen of Pentacles with no choice, is this desire for love and sort of unity here. I think it's called the heart. The heart of the matter, perhaps. Let me see what it's called. Is it called heart? Yeah, it's called heart. So it's like what does it say? Commitment or relationship? Endurance. Yeah, symbolic love in a relationship. So it would seem that this masculine wants this union with the feminine, but it's sort of like a humility or a humbling. It's like, well, it's almost like, I mean, it kind of looks like I have to make something up to her, but the charms over here sort of indicate like a spiciness, or maybe like a hot and cold, on and off kind of thing. When I see this frog here, it does remind me of the Princess and the Frog. I don't feel like getting my little book out right now, but there's this idea of, the princess loses her golden ball, right? She's lost some kind of material thing. There's something, there's a debt that had to have been paid off, right? Something of value. There's some kind of suffering, right? I've lost something important to me. And this prince, right? This accursed prince comes in, and he's in this amphibious form and she's like, ew. Right? I'm worried about what I've lost. I don't want you hopping up on me. And he's like, no, but kiss me. Like, I promise I'll be better. And the idea is that there's some kind of transformation, if I can get the word out. 10 and 3, 13, that's transformation and death cycle. There's a transformative cycle. But in the book that I've got, she's sort of constantly avoiding having to be kind to the frog, and the king, the father, because the emperor can also be the father, is like, look, he found your thing that you lost in the water because it rolled into the pond, and got it back for you. So maybe, adhere to the deal. You don't have a choice. You made a deal, right? There's a deal on the table. So in some way, even without the ring, which is contracts, it could be a contractual thing, right? It's logged into the book. But there's this duality here, because there's also this kind of spicy relationship where the feminine kind of fell off because of some calamity that happened, right? Something erupted in her life, and there was some sort of Vesuvius kind of calamity here. There was some kind of cloudy shit going on. This looks like the masculine traveling far and wide and gaining not only clarity, but some kind of abundance. But I don't know if he's trying to travel all, like, to get to the feminine and be like, this is your golden ball that I've built up to help fix this burden. because there's a Ten of Swords here that's on the border between where this sort of feminine energy row is. The Ten of Swords is pain, but it's under the Ten of Pentacles with probably, I think this is a page actually, right? 10, 10, 11. And I said 22 breaking down to 11, right? So 1, 11, and then 22, right? I'm like building up more energy. 6, 26, 36. That's also ramping up. When I see this 3 trying to be part of the 34, that this going the distance really has something to do with this abundance. Mental anguish, like it's really been bothering me. And I see the 34 pulling into a 7, and I've got a 7 over here. 6 and 6. These kings are 14s, but they break down to 5, so I have 5, 5, and this is a 5. These are all shifts and pivots, 5s. Like I'm turning. And I have 5, 5, 5, right? And it's like if you get enough lefts, then you get back to where you start with. But we're not taking that final left. We're not going back on the heels to the place where we started from. We're ending up somewhere else. It does look a lot like derailed passion. Like emergency, calamity. Like if I want to get out of just spiciness and get into some kind of emotionally fulfilling connection, it's like I need to pull together I need to understand and collect the resources that will help clear the pain, clear the burden. And that will be the victory there. 6 of Wands is victory. And 6 is a very stable number. 6 of Wands is like 6 of Wands, 6 of Cups, 6 of Pentacles, 6 of Swords. They're all like a balance point in the lower vibration of the minor arcana. They all lead into this. They're all they're all lower vibrations of the Lovers, which is the 6, the Gemini, the healing, the choice, the union. The Wheel is also 10. These are lower vibrations of this wheel that's sort of fallen off. And if I take this Ace with this Lover's 6, that's the Chariot. That's this UFO that wants to, get somewhere fast. But again, something was cut off. And again, it feels a lot like a streetcar without brakes. Like something careened off the tracks a little bit. But there's all this really hot, like married to each other energy here. And of course in the movie, when Goose dies, the wife is emotionally devastated. And it does give this background feeling of like I thought that was it, but now I can like make it up to you. And if it's not for a relationship with two people where one is in the feminine and one is in the masculine, it's a unified energy within. This sort of like, because sexual passion can be an overstimulation of the sacral chakra. Because if in adult humans, a lot of the time, if you get overexcited about something happening or meeting somebody, even if it's not like a romantic thing, it can like blow out the circuits in your sacral chakra, which is why people get sexually aroused when they get really excited. And it, it might just be sort of natural human physiology, but it's like if the guy is really excited about something, whether it's about to be sex or not, he will get a boner because all of the energy kind of surges down through the body into that point. Like once you reach puberty, it's like all the roads lead to Rome, whether you want them to or not. So this doesn't have to be a relationship, but it's sort of this like overloading the system with this fire, like sexy kind of energy. It's like some kind of situation was really, 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 really attractive to you, but there was a distortion in the feminine energy in terms of some kind of karmic comeuppance, and the masculine side of your energy experienced extreme pain and had to go through all these this like extended learning and searching far and wide to kind of pick up the pieces to heal the feminine side, right? It's like the feminine wheel of the chariot got a flat tire, and the masculine side kept going until the wheel was square. It's like, and now to fix the tire, I gotta buy a new rim, and it costs 3 times as much. And it's like, oh man, that sucked. I had to go all this distance to get back to where it was. It could be this like emotional rift where you feel like you're missing part of your identity, or it's literally a romantic relationship. And it's not cooled. It's like the initial excitement reaction that went like turbo horn. Kind of, my hit an iceberg, and the feminine almost drowned. But there's a realization that the relationship might be resolved if it's that important to have the Emperor and the King of Wands and the King of Pentacles, like the father, the marriage guy, and the guy who's got his material shit together, trying to restore the balance and flow of the relationship in terms of burden and guilt and responsibility and shame and stuff like that. Because shame is a shadow aspect and guilt is a shadow aspect of the sacral chakra, which is what the Kama Sutra is about. Sort of like, on the surface, it's like, oh, let's, kinky, let's do all these different positions. But the idea of a position has to do with different shapes and ways for the energy to flow. It's, different spokes on the wheel kind of thing. But it can be, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, like, ha ha, isn't it funny? It's all sexual. But the nature of it being in distortion is this position is uncomfortable. This is a burden. It's hurting. I don't like it. So we're looking at perhaps too much responsibility. And then this side of the reading having to go through this larger journey of all these different masculine energies and a painful long trip to open up knowledge from being, you know, sort of passing out almost and being in the dark, being clouded from it. It's like opening up to this like feminine energy wounding. You know, like the library shelf collapsed on her, and it took a long time for the masculine brigade to come in and dig her out from under all this weight of the stuff. And if you're in a toxic relationship, like, obviously, like, toodaloo, motherfucker, but this is something that's involving a lot of karma and the idea of, like, what energy is yours and what isn't, and if something, it's like, it's sort of like, in order to stop a distortion, sometimes you have to take on, like, too much burden and be like, I'm gonna lay across the road and use my body to stop this runaway train. And maybe it's gonna cripple me for a long time, but I've stopped. Like, now we're not going to, like, it's not going to, like, mow down a road full of children or something like that. You know, it's in order to stop this sort of snowball, the feminine took on the burden of blocking it with essentially herself. Like, there was no other option, there was no other choice but to take the hit. Right? It's like, she stepped in front of the bullet, possibly to protect the masculine. And maybe we're gonna find out this book with the medal on it was just kind of tucked in her pocket, like, and it acted like a bulletproof vest. We don't know, but this is the energy dynamic and a deep dive of a very entangled and deep emotional wounding that on the surface is like fire on the water, smoke on the water, fire in the skies. Ten of Swords is the sun in Gemini, right? Fire in the air, fire in the skies. I can't remember any of the other lyrics to that. I think it was about a nightclub that burnt down too. Okay, so hopefully that explains what's going on. If you can figure out what these have to do with you and your burden, your emotional work that needs to happen over the next month, whether it's a relationship with someone else or something that's going on within your own dual nature, that's what there is. So hopefully this will help you be aware of the different pieces of the puzzle. All right. So if you need to look at more of a blockage and you want to hear more about the sacral and solar chakra, check out the blockage pile from this video, or check out the pressure and timing pile. All right. So that's it for this reading. And if you want to get a personal reading, because that's going to be a little bit more accurate than this as a general reading, especially because this is for all fire energy as a collective and and all that. Ooh, my camera's getting hot. So if you want to get a personal reading, which is kind of in focus, but not really. Oh, trying to get this before my battery dies. You can email me, thecatcamebackatcamp@gmail.com. I have PayPal, Cash App, and Venmo. Everything's through the link tree. So if you're not sure about getting that email just right, just click through the link tree and it'll be down in there somewhere. I have social media over here somewhere. I've got merch and prints. I have real art items, original pieces that you can get 3 or more items. Coupon code 3STAR17, you'll get 17% off. My stuff isn't really that expensive, so some things are only a few bucks too. I've got 2 coloring books. They're like $8 each on the Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing. I've got some dark poetry here if you want to work through those really stressful emotions. That might help. A lot of my art's going to be psychedelic like this. I've got some animals and mystical creatures and celebrity portraits and stuff like that, book characters in my artwork. I think that's it. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, check out my playlists tab, my discussion tab, and stay groovy, and we'll see you later. Bye. Okay, so this is the universal timing pressure cooker kind of issue. Sort of like, what's the universe kind of demanding that now is the time to do it? One of those, it could be one of those, my throat chakra's going. Like a hurry up and wait kind of situation. All of a sudden the universe is like, hold, hold, hold. And in the meantime, you're sort of passing out, and all of a sudden the universe is like, now. And you're like, fuck, I gotta go. Like, I'm not ready yet. So let's kind of see. That's kind of what I'm doing with this portion, this pile from this reading. So we've got fire elementals here. I've got Jupiter, Mars, and the Sun. Or if you're watching this for your astrological sign, your zodiac sign, we have Sagittarius, Aries, and falling through the table, we have Leo. I'm just going to turn these back around because I'm really focusing on this fire energy. In terms of where it is in your energy or physical bodies, it's mostly the solar chakra. We can also get into the sacral chakra with that, and I got bonked on the head when I was doing the blockage reading, because it's also the crown chakra, because remember we've got that purple flame up there. So I'm using, I did say what I was using in the other one. Okay, so I'm using the mini Rider-Waite for this reading, and I'm also using my double deck of the Work Your Light Oracle and the Starseed Oracle. I'm only going to get one card from here, but that's what's in the double deck. I did clear and shuffle these already, and the spread that I'm doing is the same one that I do for my Help Me, I Can't Afford a reading. Right. So I made a point that I was going to shuffle these out of the deck on camera. I've noticed some people on YouTube talking about fake readers and how they don't ever shuffle it on the camera and you can't see their hands and blah blah blah. I was like, well, I know I'm not fake because I see a lot of the other BS that the possibly fake people are doing, and usually for purchased readings I've been shuffling the cards out of the deck on camera, and then not for the free public ones just because it takes extra time. But I've been doing my readings ahead of time, anywhere from like 3 weeks to 1 day before they're posted, so just to allay any fears, and because I actually do have time to do it and wait the extra time for my segments to combine at this point, I'm just gonna put them out on the camera. You can listen to me ramble while I'm doing it. I'm gonna get a sip of water though, because my throat chakra is being real fussy right now. just be because I've been talking for a couple hours. But it felt really intense when I went to get the cards. So I did clear and shuffle these already. I'm just doing it a little bit more. Okay. Alright. So we're looking at universal timing and what's being pressured to happen right now. I did not expect that to come out. Oh, okay. Okay, this goes this way. Okay. Put this away. And then I'll get one of these cards. So I'm going to shuffle this. I want these to blow all over. I'm going to put them over here for a second. This deck is too thick now, and I found out that it's easier if I shuffle it in chunks. They still get shuffled fine, because it would have gone in that order anyway, if I just done it halves. That wasn't very elegant, but you get the general idea. Because I can't quite get my whole hand around them like this, and it hurts. Especially with that ring on. Ugh. So that was uncomfortable. I think I just broke something. Okay, just get one of these. It's a little bit unwieldy, but I'm not allowed to have them separate. I was insisted upon by my higher self that these have to stay as a group. So that kind of came out sideways, so I'm going to leave it sideways. And these were like this when I plopped them out here. Put that back. Okay. I'm just going to flip this one over anyway. So this is sort of like tell me a story, and this is clarifying. So this is sort of like reading in between the lines, and then this is advice or wrap up. So I have the Page of Cups, not the page. The Four of Cups inverted. Four of Cups. Let me make sure this. I'm going to bring this in because these cards are small. The small little. Oh, I almost shut the camera off with my other finger by accident. Okay. Come on, tripod. Don't be a pain in my ass. Alright. Almost have the technology. Okay. So the Page of... Not the page. The Four of Cups. Inverted. It's twice I tried to call him the page. I have the Ace of Swords. I have the Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles, also inverted. Now these clarifiers down here, I have the Page, this time actually the Page. The Page of Swords, inverted. Just look at the T here. And in the challenge position, I have the King of Cups. Now, I've heard at least one person say that the Six of Pentacles is like the masculine energy's open heart chakra. So I do have the masculine that is of the emotional area coming between this truth here and whatever's going on over here in the Six of Pentacles. I feel like these colors are kind of matchy-matchy. Now, I keep trying to call this kid over here the Page. Like, totes unhappy in the Cups Kingdom. I don't want to do it. possibly because this kid was training to be Page of Swords and it wasn't a right fit. So now there's other opportunities that come up. He's like, no, because I tried these other, I tried swords, I tried pentacles, I tried wands, and they all sucked, so I don't know if I want to try cups. Like, everything sucks. Why should I try this other suit? But the truth here is, if you can get over these sort of losses, this sort of emotional imbalance, this ego hit when things don't work out, it's like, that's when you'll sort of level up in the thing that finally suits you, right? Tried all the other suits. This is the one that suits me. You could be, you know, so these are the same colors almost. You could really do well for yourself in this line of work, let's say. But the main thing here is to hold on to what's ringing true and not let butthurt of, not like psych yourself out because you thought this other thing was going to work out and it didn't. But there's also a universal timing aspect here. It's like you don't have time to refuse the universe anymore. You're going to get a truth smackdown if you're not, if you just kind of slam on the brakes and be like, I'm not going to finish. Let's see what this is. God damn it. Come on, focus. Focus. Star Brothers, Horus energy, protection, loyalty, safety, and trust. The duality here. This is like, okay, this looks like pentacles, wands, swords, and this is the cups here, right? It's like all the four suits. This is like, we're doing it together, we're working together, we'll back you up. We back you up. Loyalty, safety, and trust. I just keep thinking like Horus in the horizon. It's like as above, so below. There's a confusion or a resistance. Like a, usually when I see these cards sideways, or when I see them inverted, I say it's a confusion or a delay. Here it's like, again, it's this like digging, I'm the one that's making the delay. I don't want to do it. I don't want to know it. I'm not going to consider it. I'm dragging my feet. And it's kind of like the universe is turning up the volume. It's like, if you're going to refuse, I'm going to make this all you can think about. All of your thoughts, all of your perception is going to be, I'm going to jam it through your crown chakra. Because when it was offered, you said no. And if you wait until the universe forces you, like if the universe shouts louder, it's like, it's like it makes it harder on you, because this clue by four might end up feeling like a stab in the face. And it doesn't seem cruel here. It seems like the universe is having to shout to get your attention. Let me just look at the bottom of the deck real quick. Yeah, the Three of Pentacles. The universe wants to co-create with you. So it's sort of like an ego of lack here, which is oh, this reminds me of I Am the Walrus with the Jim Carrey version. And it's like they're like part of the end of the song is like, everybody's got one, everybody's got one, everybody's got one. And then like in the backup like in the background you can hear him say, I don't have one. That's what this energy feels like. You know, it's like I did all these things and it sucked. Why should I try another thing? This is like, I want to give up. And it also reminds me of Monty Python, the How to Defend Yourself Against Fruit. Of the instructor, or John Cleese is the instructor in it, and he's like telling them what they're going to learn to defend themselves against this week, and they're like, we've done that one. It's like, we've done this fruit and that fruit and the oranges and the lodenberries and mangoes in syrup. And he's like, aha, we haven't done the banana. It's like, I did. And it's like, it's like, why can't I train myself to why can't I defend myself against someone with a pointed stick? You know, I want to do that. But nope. Too fancy. So that's what that reminded me of too. But it's this idea that, you know, things that you had to experience to understand why it's not your path aren't there to make you feel like nothing will ever work. And the King isn't just emotions, it's also Cups isn't just emotions, it's water, it's cosmic downloads. The King of Cups is someone who is able to receive the network, the flow, the resonance. So it's not just that he has a good mastery of his emotions, right? Where he's not letting them get the better of him, i.e. his ego doesn't control him. He's working through stuff. He's processing it. This is, I'm not processing it. I don't want to. I'm out, like, I'm all by myself, right? Singing some Eric Carmen over here, being all emo under the tree. When if you go into the final stage of, okay, this is finally what I'm supposed to be doing, you'll have this alignment and the universe won't have to like stab you in the face with what you're supposed to be doing. They won't have to drag you kicking and screaming out to your life purpose. And it's sort of like, have a little trust that there'll be people working with you. You know, like maybe people that were in class with you over here are going to be like, oh, hey, I remember you from over here. Like maybe we can work together if you're over here doing this now and they're over here like this. Oh, let's have a buddy comedy and we'll, you know, you and me, and we'll be Star Brothers together, that kind of thing. So the timing the push for the fire energy is to, with this universal timing thing, is to be aware of the ego tripping you up into not only giving up on co-creating with the universe to put you more in your path, but to trip you up, like to keep you from tripping up so hard that you dig your heels in when the universe is like, hey, come out and play, and has to drag you out the door by your hair. It's like, don't throw sand in my eyes, like, help me chip at the rocks, that kind of thing. This idea that, you know, the universe isn't against you. It's not going to poison what's for you when you've tried the things that don't work. Don't let the ego say you're never going to be able to do anything. It's sort of the timing and the pressure is to sort of understand that the universe is going to, you know, hand you the tools and hold the board for you while you're nailing it, and spot you when you're on the ladder and that kind of stuff. So this is the pressure, is to get over that sort of ego of lack block that will hold you from opening up into the true potential. I know it sounds kind of flowery and like, oh, that's a bunch of crap or whatever, but it also is like, well, you know, easier said than done. But being aware of it is sort of the first step into realizing, like, oh yeah, there's this like negative broken record in my head that says, you know, the last 3 dinners I ate in these 3 different restaurants were gross, so now I don't ever want to eat any food again. It's like, well, no, because I need to like nourish myself and continue on my journey. So I've got to, you know, take that stand that, you know, something that I'm really feeling isn't just out there to make me feel like crap. Okay. So and it's almost like more of an internal pressure. You know, why do these shoes hurt? Well, you need different ones that are shaped for your feet and big enough. And that's kind of what this is. The universe is like, you're going out to the shoe store today. I don't care if you don't want to. For an analogy. All right, so that's it for that one, for the fire signs. Or just fire energy in general, I mean. I am feeling this idea of like burnout, like the ego. The ego is trying to insist that you're burnt out and shouldn't do anything anymore. It's the fire, burnout, and so on. You put all your energies into those other things and it didn't work, so we're just gonna you know, snuff you out entirely. No. Like, get a stiff breeze and get that flame going and send it in the other direction. Alright, so if you want to get a personal reading, you can hit me up. thecatcamebackatcamp@gmail.com. I accept PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo. All of those are through my link tree, linktr.ee/CATtheMinion, as well as social media and other purchasing areas. So I've got 2 coloring books and some dark poetry over on Amazon with the Kindle Direct Publishing. The poetry is on paperback and Kindle format, and the coloring books there, and they should be like $8, about $8 each, unless someone is trying to rip you off. I've got merch and prints and actual original pieces over here on Etsy, Cafe Press, DeviantArt, So I got t-shirts and other goodies over here. I've got like canvases and postcards and photo prints and stuff over here on DeviantArt. And then Etsy is like the real stuff, like the stuffed animals and the foam lotuses and the watercolors and the acrylics and drawings and a couple of etchings and stuff like that. So that's over here. 3-star 17% off purchase of 3 or more items, some of which are only a few bucks. A lot of my stuff's going to be psychedelic. There's animals and mystical creatures and book characters and celebrities and some other stuff too. So check that out if you're feeling frisky. The description box below here is going to have the list of readings that I offer and how much they cost. I think that's it. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, check out my playlists tab, my discussion tab, and stay groovy, and we'll see you later. Bye.